Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel.
Hi.
Okay.
So today we are doing another casuals guide on Dominick Reyes versus Dustin Jacoby. We're going to look at Dustin Jacoby first. Dustin Jacoby started off in MMA, however he did make a transition to kickboxing. He fought in Glory Kickboxing back in 2013. He did find a good amount of success in Glory, however it wasn't a viable path, so he went back to MMA. And this isn't Jacoby's first time in the UFC. He actually fought in the UFC before he even did kickboxing and Glory. For example, he made his UFC debut the first time back in 2011 against Clifford Starks. However, he lost by unanimous decision. Then he fought Chris Kamazi. He lost by submission, got choked out with a guillotine in the third round, 1 minute and 8 seconds in. Then he got cut by the UFC, had a couple more fights, fought David Branch. However, he did lose to David Branch, which is not a good look at all. Then he did that tournament in Glory, went back to MMA with a very much improved skill set in striking. And he fought in Titan FC, Bellator MMA, and then in 2020, he fought on Dana White's Contender Series, beat Ty Flores by unanimous decision, got signed to the UFC. Then he fought Justin Ledet, won by TKO via leg kicks and punches in the first round, 2 minutes and 38 seconds in. Then he fought Maxim Grishin, won by unanimous decision. Then he had a phenomenal fight with Ion Cutelaba. That was a split draw. Highly recommend rewatching that fight. That was also on the Reyes and Prohaska card. Then he fought Darren the Dentist Stewart. Knocked him out in the first round, 3 minutes and 4 seconds in, which is a huge win. Darren Stewart is a beast. I don't think he's in the UFC anymore, but it was about a year or two where I personally thought that he could have gotten ranked. Then he fought John Allen, won by unanimous decision. Then he fought a guy who fought last weekend, got his arm broken, Mikhail Oleskizuk. Still not sure how to say his name, so I'll call him Michael Olek. But he beat him by unanimous decision, which is another huge win for Jacoby. Then he fought Da-Woon Jung, knocked him out in the first round, 3 minutes and 13 seconds in. Then he had a big jump up in competition against Khalil Roundtree. He lost by split decision. That was another phenomenal fight. Then he fought Esmat Mirzakhanov. He lost to unanimous decision. That was on the Holloway Allen card. Then he knocked out, also fraud checked Kennedy Njokwanu, or Cheku, not positive how to say his name. Knocked him out in the first round, 1 minute and 22 seconds in. Then his most recent fight was against Alonzo Menifield in December of last year. He lost by decision. And now he is fighting Dominick the Dominator Reyes. Jacoby has a total of 19 wins, 8 losses, 12 wins by knockout, 1 win by submission, and 6 decision wins. His 8 losses have been 1 by knockout, 2 by submission, and 5 decision losses. And he has 1 draw. He is 36 years old, so he is quite up there in age. Now we're going to look at Dominick the Devastator Reyes. Dominick Reyes started off his athletic venture in football. He was very good in college. He had a total of 259 tackles during his collegiate career. He was being looked at by multiple NFL teams, however, they weren't that interested because he had average speed, according to them. And his brother owned a gym where he started training at to start off his MMA career. So Dominick Reyes is definitely a very athletic guy. Now we're going to take a look at his career. He has a total of 12 wins, 4 losses. All 4 of those losses have been in his last 4 fights, which is rough. He has 7 wins by knockout, 2 wins by submission, and 3 decision wins. He is 34 years old, and he recently changed camps to the Teixeira MMA and Fitness, so he trains with Glover and Boatan, which is definitely a great gym to be training at. His 4 losses have been 3 by knockout and 1 decision loss. He had 5 amateur MMA fights. He fought in LFA before getting signed to the UFC, and he made his UFC debut against Goshen Christensen He won by knockout in the very first round, 29 seconds in. Then he beat Jeremy Kimball by rear naked choke in the first round, 3 minutes and 39 seconds in. Then he fought a guy who's fighting on the same card this weekend with Jared Cannonier. Won by TKO in the very first round, 2 minutes and 55 seconds in. Then he fought Ovince St. Preux, beat OSP by decision on a huge card on a huge stage on the Khabib versus Conor card in 229. Then he fought Volkan Ozdemir, won by split decision. Then he fought former champion Chris Weidman. However, he knocked him out in the very first round, 1 minute and 43 seconds in. Then he had his own title shot against none other than John Bones Jones.
Officer Nerd, calm down, bro. Heard me in my Hall of Fame night just because I'm big and black.
This was a razor close fight. A lot of people think that Reyes got robbed. A lot of people thought that Reyes, no doubt, no question, won the belt. However, he got robbed, like I said. But if you watch the fight, there's definitely more of an argument for John Jones than a lot of people will admit. However, it was a razor close fight. I don't consider it a robbery.
Stop right there, criminal scum! Nobody breaks the law on my watch!
If a fight is that close, then it's hard to call it a robbery per se. However, there is an argument that Reyes should have won. In the same breath that there's an argument for John Jones winning. And after giving John Jones one of the hardest fights in his career, he fought Jan Blachowicz. However, he got knocked out in the second round, 4 minutes and 36 seconds in. Then he was on the wrong end of knockout of the year against Yuri Prohaska. He got knocked out with a spinning back elbow, a nasty knockout in the second round, 4 minutes and 29 seconds in. Then he had to step down in competition against Ryan Superman Spann. However, he got knocked out in the very first round, 1 minute and 20 seconds in. Or it's been a rough run for Dominick Reyes since the illness that shut down the world, essentially.
Kung Flu!
And now he is fighting Dustin Jacoby. It'll still be a tough test, especially with his chin being hindered and not being nearly the same as it was in the John Jones fight. However, I do think that Dominick Reyes has a chance of winning this fight. He is extremely skilled, extremely good on the feet, and he has underrated grappling as well. And I think that if he can get Jacoby down on the ground early, land some big ground and pound shots, threaten a submission or two, really gas Jacoby out, and then he could possibly get a submission win or coast his way to a decision win if he can keep taking him down and doesn't get caught clean, because Jacoby does hit pretty hard and he is a dangerous kickboxer. So I think as long as he can get him up against the cage and not get backed up himself into the cage, he has a pretty decent chance at winning. However, if you're a betting man, Jacoby is definitely the safer bet. Jacoby has a pretty decent chin on him. He's only been knocked out once. And Alonzo Menifield couldn't even knock him out, and that dude hits extremely hard. Also, Khalil Roundtree couldn't knock him out, and he is a dangerous striker. Same thing with Kutalaba. So I don't think trying to knock him out is the way to go. But like I said, if he can get him down early, land some big shots on the ground, go for a few submissions, drain that gas tank, and I think that makes it like a 60-40 fight all the way up to 70-30, especially the longer the fight goes. Because Jacoby is about 50-50 for decisions. 5 losses, 6 wins for decisions. Also 1 draw. So yeah, that's about it. If you guys like the content, comment down below who you think is going to win. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I hope you guys have a great week.